What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. TJ here with Kayak USA. Thanks for tuning in. Today's video is going to be, I think it's day 3 on the Mothership build. I'm fixing to hop in the truck. We're going to Lowe's. We're going to get the wood for the deck. We're going to get the glue, the carpet, and everything we need to get the floor finished today in this video. Finally. Check it out. Just like that, I am back from Lowe's. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? So we got everything. If you didn't watch the live stream I did, I don't know how well this is shooting right now. Hold on, let me set you back up. If you didn't watch the live stream I did, I went over exactly what I was going to do to it, but I'm going to go over it again real quick, how I'm going to lay out the floor on the Mothership. I'm going to do half carpet, half deck. I got the decking board, I've got the carpet. I'm building a box at the back to keep the batteries and propane tank and stuff in. We're going to carpet it all to match. But what I'll do is, before I unload everything, we'll hop back up on the Mothership and I'll show you exactly my thought process of how I'm going to go about putting the front deck on, staining it, laying the carpet in the back wall real quick. So let's hop up here. Alright, I hope I'm in frame. I'm using the GoPro today. But the plan is right up here up the front, I'm actually going to do decking boards, just like you would build a front porch or a deck out of. And they're going to run this way. This is 8 foot long by 8 foot wide. So I'm going to run just solid boards. There's not going to be any cut boards. It's just going to be all the way across, all the way down here to the front. And we're just going to run decking boards, and I'm going to stain them. I'm going to box in the front so it looks like we've got us a front porch. From this line right here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but from this line right here is going to be carpet. So you're going to have a little step up onto the decking board, and we're going to have deck right here. Well, from here back, I'm doing gray boat carpet, indoor outdoor carpet, and it's going to run all the way throughout the back, all the way to back here. And I'm going to have a wall. Let's see if I can get it in here. Right here, I bought 3/4 inch plywood, pressure treated, you know, so we can use it on the pontoon. I'm going to cut it out to fit that box, or that front of that square there, all the way from here all the way across, and I'm going to carpet that to match the floor. And I'm also going to build one that runs all the way across here. I'm trying to get this in frame for you guys. All the way across here, and that's going to be carpeted with a platform. And I think I'm going to put a piano hinge right in here somewhere. Sorry about all this shakiness. I'm going to put a piano hinge right in here so we can open that up, and inside that box I'm going to put the batteries for the trolling motor and a propane tank for the grill. Because I'm thinking we should be able to grill right off the back and keep the front just for like getting in and out of kayaks, jumping off and swimming, just having a good time. But today is finally the day. We're finally going to put a floor in this Mothership. I've had so many people asking me, hey, when's the next video coming? When's the next video coming? Well, it's Saturday morning. It's a beautiful day. It's not supposed to rain. I went ahead, got all the materials this morning, and we're going to spend the whole day out here. Hopefully by the time I go to bed tonight, we're going to have the floor completely done, and we can move on to the wiring and the lights and the really cool, fun stuff that we get to do. So the first thing I got to do this morning, though, before I can start laying the carpet's going to go first before we do the front deck. I've got a couple more holes that I got to fill in here. And if you watch the live stream, which is still up, you can always go back and watch it. I've got this is where like power cords used to come through for the steering wheel that used to be here, and then there's a hole here. I filled a few of them in already. I'm just cutting circles, and I'm going under the boat and putting a square, screwing the square up, and then I'm cutting the same size circles and screwing them down. So I've just got 2 more to do, one little one back there and one big one here. I'm going to fill them in. Now, I've got a few up here, but I'm not going to mess with them because, like I said, I'm screwing decking boards all the way across here, and that's going to be under the decking boards anyway, so it's not going to hurt a thing. But yeah, so what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna fill in those 2 holes. I'm gonna move all the vehicles out of the garage and lay the carpet out flat. And I'm gonna try to do all the measuring, and I'm gonna cut it on a flat concrete surface so that the carpet, because the carpet, you know, you have to buy it 12 foot wide, and this is only an 8 foot wide boat, so we're gonna have 4 feet of carpet, and I don't want it running up the wall and me trying to cut it. So I'm gonna get all my measurements out here today, and we're gonna cut it in the floor of the garage. I'm gonna lay it out flat, gonna pop some lines, make sure everything's square, measure a million times before I cut because I don't want to mess it up. And we should be able to just come straight out here, line everything up, and glue it down. And I'll probably staple around the edges and stuff like that, and then we can move on to the front deck of the boat. But yeah, let's get started on this thing. I wasn't really gonna film this, but I figured some of you guys would ask about how I did these holes. And yes, I did change clothes. That glue that I'm using for the carpet, this indoor-outdoor carpet adhesive, after doing so many boats over the years, once you get that stuff in your clothes and it dries, it's really hard to get out, so I just throw in some old clothes. But what I'm doing now, before we start cutting the carpet, I figured I'd show you guys what I was talking about these holes that I'm filling right here. So this hole's 4 1/8 inch wide, so I just went in there and I cut out a circle that's 4 inches wide. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it don't have to be tight, and it's just gonna fit down in there. But like right now, if we drop it, it's just gonna go to the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my wife go around under the boat and push this square up, and it doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, that is not a square at all, but she's just gonna push it up, and I'm gonna run some screws through the top to hold this up against the bottom of the boat. And then when I drop this circle in to fill this hole, we can just screw it straight down to this board and we'll be good to go. But we're gonna do that one. I've got to do that little hole back there, and then we're gonna start cutting carpet. I've got my daughter under the boat. She's putting that block from the bottom for me up, and I'm just starting these so that when she gets it up, yep, you got it kind of center for me, so these screws are gonna hit. Huh? Push up hard on it. I know, that's why I said you gotta push up hard on it. All right, thank you, baby. You can come out. Now we got that filled in. We'll just drop this in. It's the same thickness as this. It's 3/4 inches, so it should go just fine. I'm just gonna throw a couple screws there. Thank you, Gracie. Just like that. That hole's filled. One more to go. All right, so this is the last hole, but I noticed something about this hole that's different than the others. Under here, there's a plate where the old motor mount used to be in the back, and the plate runs all the way up under. So you're not gonna be able to get your hand up under there to push this board up. So what I did was I drilled a hole big enough to stick my finger through, and I'm gonna go under the pontoon boat and slide this into place, and then I'm gonna be able to reach down, in theory, I hope, and stick my finger in the hole, pull this board up, and then I should be able to screw the screws in from the top while I hold pressure up against it. So let's see if that's gonna work. Let me go up under the boat and see if I can slide it in. Alright, I was able to get it in there. It looks like it might work pretty good. Right there. Put a couple more around the edges just for... There we go, last hole. Now it's time for some carpet. All right, sorry if it's loud behind me, my son's cutting grass, but I've got all the circles put in now. The holes are filled. I went through and made sure there was nothing sticking up out of the floor. Everything's nice and smooth, nice flat and level now. So we're fixing to cut the carpet. We're gonna do it, like I said earlier, we're gonna do it on the concrete floor in the garage so that we're not having to fight with the corners folded up and stuff out here. So all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get a measurement from across here. I know my measurement from the back of the boat, so where I wanna stop is 16 feet. But I bought a little more than 16 feet just to make sure I had enough, and it's 12 foot wide. So the only length that we're gonna have to cut is our length coming across. I'm not gonna cut the length coming here, because if it comes out a little bit further, it really doesn't matter, because the decking boards are gonna be going down right on top of it. So we're just gonna make sure we have the correct length across here, and it's even all the way back, which it should be. The boat, I haven't removed anything, so it's all still factory. You know, the places where these walls are still factory. So we're just gonna get a measurement from across, from one side to the other. And it should be just under 8 foot. It's 91.5 inches. And I'm gonna check in a few different spots to make sure that it doesn't change. 91.5. 91.5. So we're gonna be 91.5 wide. And I'm not gonna attempt to really cut this curve out that's back here in the back. There's a curve right around the back where the ladder goes down. We'll cut it on the boat so I don't mess up and we have a spot where I have the patch carpet. I want to make sure that this is one piece as much as I can. If I, you know, as long as I don't mess up, it should be just one big piece of carpet. Then we'll glue her down and get her to pick a position. So 91.5 is what we need. I'm gonna double check one more time. Yes. 91.5. Let's go get this carpet cut. I've got it all laid out flat. Got plenty of room to work on here. I'm going to use one straight edge on the side because we know that it's factory. It should be straight from the factory. And I'll do all my measurements off one side. And I'm just going to measure out and get my 91.5 inches. But before I do that, I wanted to share something with you guys. As you can tell, like, this is a lot of carpet, and I bought a lot of stuff today, and it is expensive to do these projects. And I have a Patreon account, and I'd just like to give a quick shout out to the Patreons. I just started the account, and they immediately went on there and started supporting me. So Christopher L. Brown Sr., thank you. William Boland, thanks. Patrick Mihous, thank you. Jeff, it took off your last name, but Jeff, you know who you are, I appreciate it, buddy. And Gary Goertz, I appreciate it. You guys are my only patrons right now, and the little bit that you help out every month, it really helps me to do these videos for you guys and just keep it going. And I'm going to link my Patreon page in this video description, and you go there and check it out. I'll talk about it in the video description a little bit. And if you can help, if you can't, the best thing you can do is like my videos. If you watch them and you like what I do and you want to follow me and subscribe to the channel, just hit that like button. You don't have to be a Patreon. All you got to do is hit that like button. But if you do want to help out with this stuff, I've got $1 a month, $5 a month, and just a little bit, every little bit really helps. So I just want to shout these guys out. They were the first ones to jump on board with my patrons. I appreciate it, guys, and I look forward to doing many, many more projects for you. All right, so now let's get to measuring and cutting the carpet. Now we are just going to do half at a time. I'm going to fold half of this back. We're going to roll half of it back, and I'm going to start spreading the glue with the trowel. And I'll show you the glue that I got. Here's the glue that I bought, if you can see it. It's indoor-outdoor carpet adhesive. Now, I'm usually a big user of the spray, the 7M spray glue. And I use that when I do small John boat jobs, you know, anything outdoor carpet that's not to this extent, I'll use the spray. But this big of a project, I needed to make sure that I got enough glue and the spray. The spray also makes a lot bigger of a mess than this stuff. And you're gonna wanna make sure you get you a good trowel. This has 8. This has a 1/8 inch grooves. And yeah, we're just gonna start laying it down once we get the carpet in place where we want it. Whew. And just like that, the carpet is down. Well, the glue's down anyway. I know that went pretty fast for you guys, but it was not very fast for me. I've been out here, I think this has been over an hour and a half spreading this glue. And it is hot out here. But the glue is down. The carpet is laid down. It's flat. It looks really good. Everything lined up like it should. This stuff should be set within a couple hours as fast as this glue is actually drying. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get I got a little air compressor and a little staple gun. The part of the carpet that's going to be under the deck, and I'll move the tripod around when we build the deck, but the part of the carpet that's going to be under the deck, I'm going to shoot some not screws, I'm going to staple it down with my air stapler. And it'll be under the deck, but it'll give it that just a little bit more, you know, security that the carpet's not going to come up, which as much glue as I just put down, I emptied that whole container. So it shouldn't come up. And I dread ever having to recarpet this boat because this carpet's going to be down there pretty good, I believe. So what I'm going to do is we're going to turn the camera around and we're going to start the front deck. I think I'm going to save the back wall for last whenever we do the batteries and everything. I might make that into a separate video or the next video. Because I've got to put a carpet area in there. I've got to build the wall and I got to build the top and I got to figure out how I'm going to do the hinge so we can open it up and get to our propane tank and our batteries and stuff like that. And it's going to make an awesome table for the back, so when we're cooking, we'll have somewhere to set our plates and our drinks and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to save that for the next video, which I'm going to start right after this. You know, I'm going to start filming for that. But that'll help me focus today, and I'll be able to do this in one whole video, the carpet and the front deck. So I'm going to grab my air stapler, we're going to get this carpet stapled down, and then we're going to start laying the decking boards for the front. And hopefully before the end of this video, we'll have the deck done on the front, boxed in, everything's squared up really good, and we can start staining. Okay, so we've got the carpet laid down, it's been stapled down, it's glued down, it's exactly where it needs to be. Now we're going to start throwing up the decking boards. And what's really cool about this project is the width of the front deck where we're putting the decking boards is 8 foot and 1/2 inch long, which is the exact distance of an 8 foot decking board when you buy them. They're 8 foot and 1/2 inch long. And I know they do shrink, you know, they're pressure treated, so they do shrink up a little bit. It's not a lot, but it's gonna fit perfectly without us having to do any cutting on any of the boards. So right now we're just gonna throw them up here. I'm gonna stack them up together. We're gonna get them to where they need to be, and we're gonna pop some lines, and then we'll start screwing them in, and then we're gonna frame the outside. So I'm gonna start throwing them up. I just went ahead and put the side rails boards up. I'll take you around to show you once we're done screwing these deck boards down. But I went ahead and put the 2 side ones up just now because I want to make sure that I have the same gap on both sides before I screw these all down. So I just went out there and went ahead and put both boards up that's going to be running down the side. I still have to go and get a 10-footer. I forgot to buy my 10-footer. But once we make our final deck board, it looks like we're going to have to rip one a few inches short, and it's going to complete the deck out on the front, and then we're going to have to buy a 10-footer, cut it down, and it's going to be the facer board all the way across the front, so the deck will be completely boxed in, and it'll look really good once we get it stained and weather treated. But now we are going to, I'm going to measure out, and we're going to pop about 6, probably, let's see, 1 on each side and 1 in the middle, and then we're going to split them. So probably about 5 rolls of screws we're just going to go ahead and pop. And it's good to put them in now while it's wet, and once this starts drying up, it'll keep it from bowing up and turning around on us. So let's get to popping some lines. Alright, so we are just about out of time for this video, but let's go over what we got done today. I got the deck almost completely done. I have to go and pick up a 10-foot board because all I bought was 8s. I forgot to get that one 10-footer. We got everything screwed down though. I got the sides capped. We just got to put on 2 more boards up front. The deck is complete. As you can see, it turned out wonderful. The carpet is glued down. It's stuck good now. The glue is dry. You see I've got a couple of chairs up here already. Got the cooler set up. Just want to get a feel of how it's going to look. So the next video, we're going to end this video here with the carpets done. The front deck is 99% done. The next video we're going to be building the table for the back. We're going to be carpeting all of that. We're going to be installing the batteries and the LED light system that we're going to put in. And I'm thinking about putting some lights on the pontoons, like some green lights, so it lights up the water around up under us at night. I thought that'd be pretty cool. But I think it turned out really well. The carpet is down, the deck is just about completely finished. I can't stain it until it dries out. We gotta let this pressure treated wood dry out for a couple of, I'm gonna give it a week or two, and then we're gonna stain it like a dark or something dark or yellowish, you know, something that looks really good. And I'm also gonna be adding the handrails and the stability, the 4x4s that I talked about. We're gonna do that in the next video as well. But it turned out good. Not bad for day 3 for the Kayak USA Mothership. It's getting there. I believe this fall we might be doing a subscribers trip, or me and 3 of you guys are just going to take this thing out, camp on it, do some kayak fishing, just hanging out. I'm going to end this video here. Make sure you hit that like button. Support my channel by hitting that like button. If you're interested in Patreon, I got links to it in the video description. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.